There's a quote that I saw that I've been sitting with lately. Integrity is choosing your thoughts and actions based on values rather than personal gain. It's one that I've repeated again and again as I do trainings, do leadership coaching inside organizations, and in conversations with my own circle. But if I'm being honest, that quote, it's hitting a little too close to home lately, because here's where it gets even more real. We are watching it play out everywhere right now, in real time. Everywhere I look, right now, personally, professionally, culturally, I see a gap. A gap between what we say we value and how we actually show up. If you're a CEO, entrepreneur, or business owner that can't seem to figure out what is blocking you from attaining the next level of growth in your business, then listen up. I'm Maria de Reyes. I've taken what I've learned in 30 years working inside multi-million-dollar corporations, building my own business, and consulting my clients, and discovered 5 themes that stop a business from scaling. I've created a tool to help you get the answers you need to get unstuck and unlock the next level of growth. Head over to scale.mariadr.com and click the link to get your custom Scale Factor Formula scorecard when this episode is over. Hey everybody, welcome to Finding the Upside. I'm your host, Maria de Reyes. I'm so happy you chose to hang out with me today for a little while. Today I want to talk about something that's been on my mind, and it's the gap between what we say and how we live. Let me give you the backstory. There's a quote that I saw that I've been sitting with lately. Integrity is choosing your thoughts and actions based on values rather than personal gain. It's one that I've repeated again and again as I do trainings, do leadership coaching inside organizations, and in conversations with my own circle. But if I'm being honest, that quote, it's hitting a little too close to home lately, because here's where it gets even more real. We are watching it play out everywhere right now, in real time. Everywhere I look, right now, personally, professionally, culturally, I see a gap. A gap between what we say we value and how we actually show up. We all have them, right? Values: honesty, integrity, kindness, respect, accountability, inclusion. They look good. They look beautiful on a website. They sit nicely framed on a wall in your home or in an office lobby. But here's the question I can't stop asking. Are we actually living them? Because values aren't what you believe, they're what you practice. Saying you value honesty, but avoiding hard truths when they're inconvenient, that's not honesty. Saying you value integrity, but aligning yourself with people or behaviors that clearly don't, that's not integrity. Saying you believe in kindness, but reacting in ways that tear people down, that's not kindness. And here's the part that's easy to miss. Most people don't think they're out of alignment. We say, that's not who I am, but then our actions tell a different story. We say, I stand for this, but then we stay silent when it actually matters and we should be calling it out. We say, I would never do that, but then we justify it when we do, or somebody that we know or support does. That's the human condition. We are incredibly skilled at believing we're aligned, even when we're not. And as I said, we're watching this play out everywhere right now. We're watching people say they value honesty, but dismiss facts when they don't align with their beliefs. We're watching people say they value integrity, but defend abhorrent behavior in leaders, in people they know, and in public figures that they would never tolerate in their own lives. We're watching people say they value kindness, but engage in conversations and language, online and offline, that are anything but. And here's the tension no one really wants to sit with. Values don't count when they're easy. They only count when they cost you something. It's easy to say you believe in respect when you're surrounded by people who think like you. It's easy to say you value inclusion when it doesn't challenge your own comfort. And it's easy to say you stand for the truth when the truth benefits your side. But what about when it doesn't? What about when living your values means questioning your own narrative, your own people, your own circle, your own past decisions? That's the moment of truth. And organizations are not exempt from this. If anything, they amplify it. We know companies love values, mission statements, culture decks, posters in the hallway. People first, do the right thing, radical transparency. And even now, we see some companies taking stands, issue statements, align with causes. But many times, when you look underneath, the behavior doesn't match. That's not values, that's performance. Leaders say we value our people, but burnout is normalized and boundaries are ignored. You can't say you value people and then treat them like they're disposable. They say we believe in transparency, but information is controlled and filtered. You can't say you value transparency and then hide the truth when it's uncomfortable. They say we're committed to inclusion, but decision-making power still sits in the same hands. You can't say you value inclusion when you keep the criteria and the decision-making in the same group that has always made them. And guess what? Employees see it. Customers see it. The market sees it. And understand this, you can't build trust on stated values. You build trust on demonstrated behavior. So if you happen to be a leader listening to this, understand this is where it stops being philosophical and it starts being operational. Many times that's the gap. Your values should show up in who you hire and who you don't. Who gets promoted and why. What behavior gets rewarded. What gets addressed or ignored. The conversations you're willing to have and the ones you drastically avoid. Because culture isn't what you say, it's what you tolerate. And here's where I want to bring this back to us individually, because it's easy to point outward. It's easy to say, yeah, companies do that. Yeah, people out there are hypocritical. But where are we doing it? Where are we compromising what we say matters for our own comfort, for convenience, for our belonging to a group? Where are we staying quiet when speaking up would actually align with who we say we are? That's the work, my friends. Now, it's not perfection. None of us are perfect or going to be, including myself. But it's awareness. Because we are going to fall short from time to time. That's not the problem. The problem is when we refuse to see it, or we see it and choose not to take responsibility. So what does it actually look like to live your values? It looks like catching yourself in the moment and saying, that wasn't aligned to who I say I am. It looks like repairing when you've caused harm. It looks like choosing differently next time, even when it's harder. It's holding up the mirror, not to judge yourself, but to see yourself clearly. That is something we all need to do every single day. So here's your challenge, and it's for everyone, but especially if you lead teams, people, or organizations. Don't revisit your value statement. Revisit your decisions and your actions. Look at the last 30 days and ask yourself, where did I act in alignment with what I say matters? And where didn't I? Where were you in alignment with what you say matters? And where weren't you? And more importantly, and here's the part most people skip, what are you going to do differently now that you see it? Not next quarter, not tomorrow, not when it's convenient, not when someone calls it out. Now. Because the credibility gap, the space between what you say and what you do, that's where trust erodes. That's where culture breaks down. And that's where leadership and personal integrity fails. But it's also where transformation begins. And it's also how to find the upside. Because the upside isn't about being perfect. It's in having the courage to look, to own your own actions, and to realign one decision and one action at a time. I want to thank you for joining me today. This is Finding the Upside, and I look forward to hanging out with you on the next episode of Finding the Upside. Bye for now, friends. All right, so I hope you loved this episode and found it valuable. Thanks for hanging out with me. And if you'd be so kind, if you know someone else that this will help, please share this episode with them. Just grab a link for this specific episode, text it to a friend or colleague so it can help more people like you. Thanks so much for tuning in. I will see you next time for more entrepreneurial goodness. Same time, same place on the Finding the Upside podcast.